Yeah.
No,
Gotta let them know. Say we not gonna show you how we stay low. Gotta be on low. All your men them know. They see man steals the fees and they got them cold. Got them catching cold. Oh. Say the boy got bless you on time. Boy got bless you on time. Jella Bentley goes by your mind. Lali, happy woman. Say the boy got bless you on time. Boy got bless you on time. Jella Bentley goes by your mind. Lali, happy woman.
I'm back on the track for the fact that I'm spitting my lyrics. You know that it's so off the top. I'm bringing you flame, I'm bringing you fire, I'm bringing that pull up right on the trap. And all they want and I thought you know sit down in front of me, my level coming from the back. I'm bringing you trouble that more than a D. Ride the back on your block. They think it'll make it, they breaking the rules. My grandma said no, so they imitate. I need my plays, I need my own set space so I can meditate. I came from the bottom and I see that at the top and I'm never coming back to the bottom. So hit it wanna hit me, they can hit me not the bennett. I don't really give a damn what the problem. I be the teacher, I teach you the peeking and how to go about the game. I pass you carbon, but you pass me Evo, and I just to make your own man machine. I'm blasting. If I'm not eating, I'm fasting. I'm fasting. They did it for beginning all on my shoulder. They walk on the video.
Say boy God bless you on time. Boy God bless you on time. Jella Bentley goes by your mind. Lali, happy woman. Say boy God bless you on time. Boy God bless you on time. Jella Bentley goes by your mind. Lali, happy woman.
I came from the mark. Hey, stop throwing that on my name cause I don't give a fuck. Hey. Leveled up, bitch, I'm a boss. Rolling and floss. I need some money to take me on top. Forward and boss. Back to the wall. Choosing your side, you might know why I fall. Let begin to solve like biscuit. Fuck with this side, risk it. There ain't no loss in mischief. It's on the love, no hit shit. I got it for you, baby. Suck on your body and kiss. Give you that, miss this. Nobody fuck with that blick. They really influence my baby, your business. Will never want me out with the Holocaust. With Crystal the cheese in the holding spot. I think they gave me a menopause. They gave me the beginning in Bessa. Workers production, 2-man squad. Only what addition plus sass. Rebel gang, but I'm bloodshot.
Gotta let them know. Say we not gonna show yeah, we stay low key. Rather be on low key. All your men them know. They see man steals the fees and they got them cold. Got them catching cold. Oh. Say boy God bless you on time. Boy God bless you on time. Jella Bentley goes by your mind. Lali, happy woman. Say boy God bless you on time. Boy God bless you on time. Jella Bentley goes by your mind. Lali, happy woman.
See, I started the drill. Everyone doing the drill. They said I want God, let me take you. When they in us, stressed out, stumble and fall. Reaching me king to the rescue. I ain't gonna lie. Most of you rappers, not even my sons, they're not even my nephews. All this work, alienated, they probably gonna think I'm from Neptune. They blessing out all my hair, I share with people, they still run that over. Been running the game for 10 years now. I guess I've been doing it sober. When they rap, I win artists of the year. They hit, but they gotta respect it. If not for me, they be paying your 500 years to fuck on the records. Raising the bottom, I stand up. Setting the trend, I'll blend in, put me down, this funny, I'll blender. Miss, I'll send it back to the sender. Then when I rap, get reverend and crystal, that's so of the adventures, dog. If I don't let you, I'll tell you a script. You keep me on no
pretender. Let them know. Say we not gonna show yeah, we stay low key. Gotta be on low key. All your men them know. They see man steals the fees and they got them cold. They got them catching cold. Say boy God bless you on time. Boy God bless you on time. Jella Bentley goes by your mind. Lali, happy woman. Say boy God bless you on time. Boy God bless you on time. Jella Bentley goes by your mind. Lali, happy woman.
Yeah, shout out to everybody this morning. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy New Year. We all made it. It wasn't easy coming. 2025 was a rough year. But 2025 is in the past now. We're up in 2026, and I want to say happy New Year to everybody out there. Just of you who made it through, I want to say happy New Year to you. We are all a winner. Um, and my only hope and what I wish for 2026 is for every young people in Liberia to turn their life around, to look at the brighter side, and make good use out of 2026. You know what I mean? Like a lot of young people wasted their life in 2025 and the previous years, but 2026 is a brand new year. it's not too late to turn your life around. You know what I mean? Like you ain't gotta depend on anybody. Like nobody's coming to save us. No one's coming to help us. We gotta do this by ourselves. So I want to say shout out to all the young people, the entire youth in Liberia. In it, I love Liberia. Those of you who are doing great, kudos to you. Those of you who are still out there, hustling every day to make it. Um, I still want to say kudos to you. This is your year, 2026. Turn it around, make some good out of 2026. We're all in this together. Like I said, we're gonna have to do it by ourselves. Nobody else is gonna come and do it for us. But yeah, so brand new year, 2026. Happy New Year to all of you. I'm out here again, once again, with a couple of entertainment and some sort of motivation speech tonight. This is not about politics. No, I'm not saying politics tonight. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm doing this straight up entertainment and motivation to the young people in Liberia. But you know how we do it. Every day we come on the show, we got to play music, and that's what we do. That's what we're good at. So let's continue on. Let's play a couple of music, and we'll get into dates right after a couple of songs. Guys, it's gonna be music and talk. All right. So let's just get going with it. All right. I know there's a couple of new music out there, but I want to go back to Country Soda by Bucky Raw. Yeah.
You tell how much let me see it, yo. I do it hard, I pick it, yo. Your song better, why people on the fuck? You tell me see it, yo. You tell how much let me see it, yo. I do it hard, I pick it, yo. Your song better, why people on the fuck? Trap go there, let my business. Love what Joe, I let my business. Hope what Joe, she let my business. She's follow see, no check up for business. Trap go there, let my business. Love what Joe, I let my business. Hope what Joe, she let my business. She follow see, no check up for business. After hour, Ghana in my star song. She put time like said she working 5 stones. Nothing free anytime, I'm not for Sarah alone. The gas working, electricity, her butt checking. Now I'm nothing, I'm sweating, I got dry face. Face down to my up, don't I die big. I eat current, the big girl, you going. Cause I'm crazy with love, I got insurance. She French kids to the big, she not a foreign. Go get your own money, tea, and not for children. Look at your figure, to my dollar tissue. For my baby, oh my god, they come to be. And all you, I can direct and tell me at the hour. I try to tell you not getting this, can turn your more sour. You make me power, but baby, why you hammer me for? Let understand, because you, I be your ball. You tell how much in the missy jetta, yo. I do it all, I'm picking jetta, yo. Your song better, why people on the fuck? You tell how missy jetta, yo. You tell how much in the missy jetta, yo. I do it all, I'm picking jetta, yo. Your song better, why people on the fuck? Hey, she said her last name was you said. I said we all inside, bigger me, I used to. She said you chopper, you bucky body rapper. I said I work the next and you clean it on my dapper. You can't broke, I got rights with no snapper. She I can tell you, but I mean watch her. The power with putting it out the bar. Baby, take your time and kill it. Gale, coupe, kakali, kakale, now they gale, coupe, kakali, kakale, now they gale, coupe, kakali, kakale, now they gale, coupe, kakali, kakale, kale. We come get it, I can get it for new rap. These are bodies, they talking to you, I'm about to go, knock on the door, yeah, cut on my feet, and I will. You didn't have to see each other, yo. You didn't have how much in the each other, yo. I do it all, I'm picking each other, yo. Your song better, people on the fuck. You didn't have to see each other, yo. You didn't have how much in the each other, yo. I do it all, I'm picking each other, yo. Your song better, people on the fuck. Trap go, let my business. Love what you, I let my business. Hope what you, she let my business. She's trying to see no check up business. Trap go, let my business. Love what you, I let my business. Hope what you, she let my business. She's trying to see no check up business.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, shout out to everyone. Once again, okay, once again, I want to say thanks to everybody who coming in. Um, Welcome to the platform. Okay, this is what we do on here. We speak motivation. We speak truth to power. We try to motivate the young people out there, in the street. That's what we're doing tonight. Okay. There's nothing different what we're gonna be doing tonight. But before I get into before I get into my entertainment show tonight, I saw there was this video on Facebook, and some people found that video amusing. Okay. Um, for to me, I didn't find that video to be, you know, to be appropriate. That video was a little child, a child that is, if I'm not mistaken, about 3 years going to 4 years. Um, her mom or her dad, whoever did that, recorded her singing to that song, Bucky Rock music or Batty. Okay. Um, and some people found it to be funny. And I found that video to be disturbing because as a parents we have responsibility. As a parents we have responsibility. um we got to protect those kids. We got to protect our children, especially children as young as that. you know we got to we got to educate these children, or we got to program them in a way that they're not allowed to listen to certain type of music. You know what I mean? A baby of that age shouldn't be singing a bucket raw song or batty batty. Okay, that that was so inappropriate. When I saw that video, and some people found it to be amusing to them, I didn't find that video to be interesting. So what I did, I just make comments. I just make comment on the video, and I'm putting the blame on the parents. Okay, this is not about the Bucky Raw. Bucky Raw is an entertainer. He make music for different generation, especially now we're in 2026. So there's a lot of young people out there that listen to Bucky Raw music. Bucky Raw music, I'm not saying his music is bad, no, but his music has some strong words in it, profanity in his music. They're not good for children. Okay, um, it's good for the youth, but not for children. If you are over 18 years old and above, you can listen to whatever music you want to listen to because you are not a child anymore. You are an adult, okay, a young adult. So you can choose what music to listen to. So what I'm trying to say is that parents in Liberia, you gotta be wise. You have children to protect, so you got to protect those children from listening to those type of music, where there's too many profanity words in it, the swearing, the bad words, the F word, the S word, and all of these words in the music, and you allow a child a little as that to listen to such a music. For me, that's a failure on the side of the parents, especially for them to have the audacity to record those type of child singing to baddie baddie, African baddie baddie. You know what I mean? Um, to me, that's a failure on the part of the parents. I know they're doing it to get likes. I know they're doing it to get comments. I know they're doing it to get some sort of reaction. But honestly, if you allow your child to listen to African baddie baddie and even watch a video, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna play on my show, but this is the responsibility of parents to restrict their children from listening to certain music, from watching certain music. Okay, children should only listen to anything that is P or PG. Okay, or eh, you know, there's some sort of rating for children, and not every music a child can listen to. That's not right. So that's all I wanted to say on that video. M- Some of you might have seen that video on Facebook. It is circulating on Facebook. I can't be bothered to play it here, but whatever that video is, to me, is inappropriate and it shouldn't be. That child shouldn't be singing African baddie baddie. Okay. Um, so that was it there. Um, but listen, man. even though I talk about African Batty Batty, my show is actually structured and restricted to 18 and above. If there's any underage children out there listening to my show or watching my platform, this show is for 18 years and above. That's why the music, I don't have restriction on the music because I already restricted my show. So it's up to parents to protect their children from listening to, you know, those type of things. So if your child is listening to me and music like African Belly Body comes on, you tell your child to turn it off. Yeah. You tell that child to turn it off because African Belly Belly is not for it's not for a child. Okay. So in saying that, we're gonna go ahead and listen to African Baddie Baddie by Buck the Roll. Don't get me wrong. I told you I'm gonna play it. It's up to the parents to restrict their children for listening to it. It's not my responsibility. That's their responsibility to protect their children from this type of music. Right? So let's go.
I say your tuna don't shake, then your back won't break. I say your tuna don't shake, then your back won't break. I say your tuna don't shake, then your back won't break. I say your tuna don't shake, then your back won't break. African body, African body, African rocking to my African body, African body, African body, African rocking to my African body. African daddy daddy. Her to my full of her traffic. I say it checking that they say they get when popping her lash it. African daddy daddy. I know the times I can drop it when I watching it from the back. I let the spray it like I said. African daddy daddy. I only here for your baby. The way I knocking on it, say I think you over my witness. African daddy daddy. I only paying you baby. The way I beating on it, say she think I beat for her kid. African daddy daddy. You her body agree. Now why you dance on your heat? Now why I dancing with she? Her baby my copy both for sure. The way she changing her sheet. I said I get from the east. I said I get from the west. I get be making chicken jealous. But she walking with breath. I said I get from the south. I said I get from the north. You think I get from right east sentence? But she bluffing with butt. I said I get be clapping chicks, but she not slapping her jaw. African daddy, 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 African daddy. I say your tuna don't shake, then your back won't break. I say your tuna don't shake, then your back won't break. I say your tuna don't shake, then your back won't break. I say your tuna don't shake, then your back won't break. African daddy, African body, African rocking to my African body, African daddy, African body, African rocking to my African body, African daddy. African daddy daddy. African daddy daddy.
Yeah. Shout out to Bucky Road on that one. African Baddie Baddie. As you say in the video, I don't think you're gonna allow your child to watch such a video. Um, I wouldn't let my child, see such a video. These guys, they're doing they are entertainers. So when they play music like that, they're just entertaining the world. But parents, you should be able to restrict your children from listening to those type of music. Okay. I'm not saying they're bad music, but for kids, no, they're inappropriate for children. Now, listen, I want to say this to all my young people in Liberia, and this is a message I want to give out to all of you guys, especially my youth, the young people in Liberia. And that's why today podcast is not about politics. It's not about blaming the government. It's not about who feel who. Today podcast is actually about you. Okay. Today podcast is actually about y'all, the young people. That's why that's why we're gonna be doing tonight. All right. Why this podcast, directing to young people and not blaming the government. or not blaming anybody. Okay. So that's because there's too many young people or too many young Liberians who are waiting. Now, I don't know what they're waiting for, but they're waiting for government job. They're waiting for somebody to come and help. They're waiting for politicians to give them a handout. So there's a lot of us. We're out there and we're waiting. We have turned into a political soldier. I keep saying it. I ain't gonna stop. We have turned into a political soldier. We are concentrating more on running politics than becoming our own savior, right? Um, like I keep saying, there's a lot out there for young people. There's a lot to be done for young people out there. But you gotta be willing to do something for yourself. If you just relax and allow a handout to you, then your life is not going to be get any better. Your entire life, you're going to be a beggar, you're going to be a waiter, and you're going to keep waiting, right? So, waiting for relatives abroad, okay? But I want to tell you that all this waiting, or everybody you're waiting for, if you're waiting for the government to get a government job, if you're waiting for a help, if you're waiting for politicians to give you a handout, if you're waiting for a relative abroad to give you something, I'm sorry, but I'm here to let you know that there's nobody coming, right? There's nobody coming to save you. So if you're waiting and not take 2026 and turn 2026 to a year of success in your life, and you say you're waiting for a relative out there, if you say you're waiting for a government job, if you say you're waiting for a politicians to give you a handout, I'm sorry to tell you, or I'm sorry to disappoint you. There's no one coming to save you. You got to save yourself. 2025 is gone. 2024 is in the past. 2023 is in the past, and your life hasn't changed. 2026 is a brand new year. Turn things around for yourself as a young person. So let's get into this, right? So turn things around, you know, as a young person. I want to see a lot of young people building themselves up. I want to see a lot of young people building a better life for themselves and not just depend on somebody, on a family member, or on the government, or on politicians who, who are not in the interest of them. So when I see young people on social media doing content creating, doing all these things, comedies, music, those are things that you can change your life around with, but you got to take it serious. So what do I mean by all of this? You see, the mentality is what holding us back. And Obadiah has a music called Liberian mentality. Our mentality is what holding us back. One of the bigger problems that Liberians are facing, the youth, Liberian youth, they're not lack of talent, but I think they're lack of motivation. Their lack of the mindset that they have is that is where they're lacking. When you as a young person and you have a mentality that you just stuck into getting a handout from politicians or from a family member, that's the wrong mentality. you know so we have been trained to wait. We have been trained to depend on handout. We have been trained to depend on connections. We have been trained to depend on politicians during elections. And those things are not going to help us. Those things are not going to save us. We depends on big people, as we would say, which means somebody we can afford. Those are the kind of people we're depending on. So our mentality, that has kept us stuck. Independence does not mean, or does not just independence doesn't mean you hate help, but it's you rather be independent, and then whoever willing to help you can help you along the way. But even if there's no one to help you, you are already independent, so you know exactly um all you have is you, and that's all you got. So whatever help that come in the way, those are just uh, a bonus of life. It just come. All right. So that's some of the stuff I want to talk to young people about tonight. You know, take 2025 and turn it into a year of success. You know, take 2025, I mean 2026, and turn it into and and turn all your negative into positive, and just make something out of something. Okay, look, it's like make yourself from zero to hero. That's what you want to do. That's the kind of mindset that I want young people to have. I want to see that hunger. I want to see that eager in young people to succeed, to make money. Okay, I know y'all want to make money, but y'all want to make money by waiting for politicians. Y'all want to make money by waiting for a handout. Y'all want to make money by waiting for a relative abroad to send you $5, $10, $20. And trust me, this they're not going to help you. Okay. So I want to see the mentality of a young person, the mindset of a young person in Liberia today to be eager to make money, to advance themselves. I want to see young people into entrepreneur. I want to see young people taking content creating so serious, like a career, like a talent. Okay. Those are things that other young people are doing around the world. You know, some of us we're doing content creating. I'm not getting paid for any of my videos and stuff like that. But I want to see Liberians. Okay, I want to see it. This guy, Emil. Okay. Emil has a program going. Okay. Let me see if I can pull that program up for you guys. And this is for Emil, y'all. So let me put music on and let me see if I can pull that program by Emil. Okay. And that program is gonna help you guys because Emil is one of these guys who's doing great. So let me pull that out, y'all. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, it's flossy, baby. Yeah, chapter close, searching up for you. Bravo, searching up for you, let us wait. Ah, too easy. Let go when the chapter end. Flipping to the next. And I tell her to get up on 10. So my happy go the ice. Le chauffini a lo chishamio. This new way I quest samio. Jaha de get up on samio. Then see happen. You worry about say on beach. You are looking like body rich. You are the one he's on the leash. Always a big up fish. No
All right.
rest.
So let me share the link with you guys. Okay, let me share this with you guys. This is for Emil, y'all. We gotta support young talents. Okay. I admire this guy. Okay. So this is for Emil. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about, like young people. This is what I'm talking about. And so this is a program by Emil. Emil actually have his own streaming platform. So he have a lot of ideas. Okay. I know you gotta pay $1,000 or $5 United States dollars, but again, it worth it worth trying. Okay. It doesn't mean you're going there, you know, you're gonna just come out as a professional, but no, he's going to teach you the basic of how you can open a Facebook page, international TikTok, and how you can monetize your page. Now, I know that Liberia does not have monetization. Liberia is not monetized, but I don't know the secret that email have. So that's why it is important for all of you young people who are interested into content creating to get in contact with Emil and just have this 2 days 2 days two box. Okay, with Emil. It's a 2 days program of $1,000 Liberian. Okay, that's not much. Some of you take $1,000 to buy a bottle or something, I don't know, but $1,000 is not much, you know. Get in contact with Emil. See, the thing, this is why I always say Okay, you you have to speak with somebody who know what they're doing. Now, Emil is doing it. He's not just putting other program with no facts to back it up. So he's doing it. He's a streamer. He have his own streaming platform. So he have more knowledge in this area. So content creating is a very lucrative area, but you just have to know how to go about it. Okay. If you're just starting and you want to make $1,000, you want to make money, it's hard. But when you have such a program that Airmail is offering, just go through those programs and it's gonna help you. It's gonna set you up, it's gonna build you up. You know, those type of program is good for you, it's gonna build you up. It's gonna teach you what content creation, monetization conference for students in in the 17th district of Maserado. So I think that's in district 17. But even if if you don't live in district 17 and you want to attend that program, okay, and you want to attend that program, you can go. Oh wait, how did my video have copyright issues? All right. But yeah, guys, that's all I just thought I should show you guys. This is email. Okay, so go to email, get in contact with email. If you're serious about your content creating, email can show you the way. And you can do something good for yourself and become someone good. Because content creating now around the world is doing a lot for the young people nowadays. So it's important that you have a bit of knowledge on what you're doing. It's not just about going out there and writing nonsense and making videos. You have to know the basic, the fundamental of those things you're doing. So if Emil has a program and he's willing to educate people and train people on that, then that's a good program that you guys need to be part of. Okay. So let's get that, get into that program. Okay. God, let me play music. I'm having issue. I'm I'm getting something from my they're saying that I have copyright issue. So I'll probably need to stop playing music because Facebook is YouTube Facebook copyright issues is disturbing me. Okay. So let me get this out. All right, let me check this. So I'm having Facebook just sent me they having issue with my live. Okay, so I'm having a bit of issue here. Copyright issue. So gentlemen, I have to stop the music. Okay. I have to stop the music. If I don't, my account is gonna be restricted by Facebook. Okay. Um but listen, like I was talking about independence and what independence really means, right? So we all know what independence is, but independence is not about being rich or being rich overnight. No, independence, it means you can wake up and create value. Okay, um, you don't have to beg before you eat. It doesn't mean you don't have to sell little thing or sell your vote during election time, to have $10. You know, you can start small. Independence is all about starting small, building up your skills, starting your hustle. Those are all independency. Once you start little, and start taking responsibility for your choices, those are independency. It doesn't matter how small you start, no matter how small the beginning is. Just know that what starts small could end up to be big. Okay, what starts small could end up to be big. Um, Honestly, guys, I have to go. Okay, Facebook won't allow me. I'm having a little bit of issue with my Facebook. Um, yeah, I'm getting. Yeah, all right. Now, so I have to go. So I don't think I can continue with the show. But look, before I go, guys, all I'm trying to say, okay, 20 2026 should be a good year for everybody. Especially young people. Okay. Take your life into your own hands. Be independent. Don't depend on people. Don't depend on your relative abroad. Don't depend on politicians. Don't depend on handout. Those things, they're not gonna come. It's not gonna help you in any way. But when you become an independent person and you start being creative, you start being innovative, you start doing things. You take your content creating serious, you take your music career serious, and start making something out of those little things. Okay. Then you start to understand that depending on people is a waste of your life. How long have you been depending on people, on politicians, or on people that have money and they have never come through for you? They will never come through unless they need you. That's how it works. These people don't need you. So when they don't need you, they have no use for you. They don't even know you. But when the time that they need you, that's when you become relevant to them. That's when you become important to them. So what I'm trying to tell you people, 2026 should be a good year where you take your life and put it into your own hands and do something better with your life. Be independent, be creative, start small, be a carpenter or digital worker or be a trader or content creator, be a farmer, be be a phone repairer, be a tailor, be an electrician, whatever you want to be, but just take your hustle serious. Take your hustle serious and have some discipline. That's the key. If you are not disciplined, nothing's going to go right. You have to be disciplined in order to succeed in what you're doing. Okay. So happy new year to all of you guys. I'm sorry that I have to go. Facebook just won't let me. So I'm sorry that I have to go. All right. I will try TikTok to see if TikTok gonna allow me. Those of you that all my friends on TikTok, stick around. I'm coming on TikTok. Okay. All right, bye. Oh, come on, Facebook. Come on.